And we are live.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Strictly Casual podcast. Today is Thursday, September 3rd. This is a new schedule for us. This is Thursday at 7:09 p.m. Pacific time.
That's
Just
right.
worked better with our schedules. It's okay.
James, week 1 of
Nevertheless,
school.
week 1 of school.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How'd your first week go? Ish. We have
Went well.
tomorrow still.
First of all, I need to introduce the podcast. I'm sorry, Vin.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
mean to
so
cut
sorry.
you off.
I'm so
I don't want to be
sorry.
rude. It's all good. This is the Unoriginal Podcast from unprofessional college students, Strictly Casual. Here we keep it strictly casual. Joining me today and every week is one of my best friends, my roommate, and lover, Vincent DeSantis.
Wow. Quite an intro. Wow. I don't know how to take that one.
Look, he's blushing.
Strictly
He's so
platonic lover, though.
Of course. Because
Absolutely.
we keep our socks on
100% of the time, every time.
every time.
Okay, James.
All right.
How was your first
How
week
you
of
doing
school?
this week?
Dude,
Wow.
so
Wow.
stressful. It was so stressful. This week has sucked. I'm going to be completely honest. Like today,
Wow.
I'm really happy we're doing the podcast, but I've just had so much crap to do today, and I have a lot of crap tomorrow. I think once this week is over, like Sunday's done, and like my work week is done and everything too, next week's gonna go so much smoother. I'm just gonna say no. I'm gonna start saying no to things, and it's gonna feel really good for me.
Yeah.
I've said yes to too many things this week. How was yours?
It was okay, better than expected. I
Good.
missed one of my classes on the first day.
F. Well,
You know why? Because the professor didn't put it in the damn Canvas calendar.
his fault then.
His fault. That's what I said. So I came back around. He was an older guy, so I was
Okay.
a little more sympathetic.
Sure.
But I know people in every one of my classes, and that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
I have that security. Okay.
That's good.
Hebrew is going to be a bear.
It's gonna be a rough one.
It's gonna be a rough one. I have
Okay.
to know the whole alphabet by Friday.
Alphabet.
Alphabet. It's where the word alphabet comes
Okay.
from.
Well, that's nice because for my French class, we have to know 3 words by next class, so I'm feeling good about French so far.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible. Ben, what have you been playing this week?
All right, this week it's been a little lackluster on the games, but I've been playing. Oh my god, what have I been playing? Call of Duty, of course. Played a little Fall Guys with Ryder, a little bit of Valorant with Ryder, Mr. Hollywood, my boys, and what else have I been playing? Nothing.
We played a little bit of
huge.
Remnant.
Oh my god, Remnant,
Don't forget about that, man.
which we'll be
That was
playing
a
some more
special
of
time.
soon on stream.
Yep.
I cannot wait to play more Remnant. And Spellbreak launched today, which I could have put that in RFS, but here we
We're
are
putting
saying
it
it
now.
now, and I cannot wait to play that right after this episode.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Are you streaming that too?
I don't know if I'll do a stream tonight. I'm usually pretty tired after this, but
Okay.
we'll see. We'll play it by ear. You know
I
what?
might stream it. I don't know. I
Alright,
don't know.
well.
Could go anyway. Could go anyway.
Oh.
I've been playing Remnant this week, and I think that's been about it. I've been pretty up to my nose in work, but I have been dreaming, Vincent, about playing Persona 5. I
Yes.
cannot wait to get back into that game. Also, that's a lie. I also played Doom Eternal this week.
That's right, you did.
Did a Doom Eternal stream.
That was fun.
It's so damn hard.
Yeah.
I always forget how hard that game is.
Have you considered
But
turning
it's-
down the difficulty, or are you just not a chance?
Absolutely not, because Mama didn't raise no quitter. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna continue going. Now, Vincent,
Yes.
this week,
This week,
although some might say it's dry,
I'd beg to differ.
I incredibly beg to differ because this week we got a huge conference from none other than NVIDIA. NVIDIA, the company that makes the premium graphics cards in the market today for Intel-based architecture, and I could also work with AMD architecture as well.
That's what I'm running.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, you're good.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
want you to leave my boy AMD out of the picture right there.
No,
That's what it sounded like.
I could never. I could never.
Okay. All right. Just check yourself, James. Just check yourself.
But I am shouting out from Intel gang over here. I don't wanna undercut that. I am Intel gang. Got that i5 6600K. Let's go, baby.
That's right.
Anyway, so during this conference, NVIDIA announced is their new RTX 3000 series GPUs.
Right.
Our friend, who we don't know whatsoever, Tom Warren over at The Verge, wrote a wonderful article discussing
what an
the
intro.
events that took place.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we're feeling it tonight.
I'm so glad.
NVIDIA is unveiling its new GeForce RTX 3000 series graphics cards today. Well, this was a few days ago. I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
NVIDIA has been teasing these new cards for weeks, and there have also been plenty of leaks before the RTX 3080 was made official today.
Yes.
That was Tuesday.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I should have gone through and did that
It's
for you.
okay.
Okay.
Totally no worries. Based on NVIDIA's new Ampere architecture, as it's called, the RTX 3080 is designed to succeed the RTX 2080 and 2080 Ti cards with improved performance and ray tracing support. All this means is there's a new line of cards under the 3000 series with the architecture titled Ampere.
Yes.
I'm going to continue.
Yes.
I was going to say something, but I forgot it, so I'm going to continue.
Keep going.
Actually, this is a lie. I remember what I just said,
Okay.
or what I was thinking of. I was at Best Buy earlier this week to go look at a new AIO for my PC.
Sure.
And I was talking to a dude there. His name was James. Great name, great guy.
Sure.
And he said, you know what? You should wait for the new graphics cards to come out before you upgrade because they are about to drop. And surely enough, people are already panic selling their 1080 Ti's.
Yeah.
And their 2070s and their 2080s. Anywho, NVIDIA is promising big performance with the RTX 3080, up to 2 times that of the RTX 2080 and faster than even NVIDIA's RTX 2080 Ti card. That's a lot of numbers.
Which is nutty.
It is nutty. The card will ship with 10 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory and will be priced at $699, a steal, when it ships on September 17th, very soon.
Literally a couple
Then,
weeks.
oh my, what do you think? First of all, we're only halfway into this article.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
I didn't watch this guy live. I looked at everything afterwards. I forget I was doing something during the time. But the amount of stuff they showed at this conference, like playing in on,
I didn't watch
8K,
any of it. I'm going to be completely transparent with you.
I watched only segments. Like they had a Cyberpunk segment, which we'll get to next. They had a segment of people playing on 8K displays and those cards running 8K games, butter smooth, like insane, right?
Yeah.
And just all
and we don't even have our 8K displays yet.
Not even close, baby.
Just barely.
All the time I'm watching this, I'm like, bro, I have a 2060 and I just bought that 2060 like a month and a half ago, and I could have spent $50 extra and got a 3070. Yeah, for $499. So like $100 more actually. And had like quadruple the power.
Yeah, I was looking at one of the charts for performance, and I think it was using the 2080 Ti, and it was using the new one of the new 3000 series cards. I think it was the 3080, but I could be wrong. And then it used the 1070 as like the bottom, like the smallest guy in the race, the weakest horse.
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me. I was like, I'm the weakest horse in the race now.
James, what do you have?
With all these big boys. I have a 1070.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you had a 1660.
I had a 6600K processor.
Got it. I was tripping.
Which made you think.
Yes.
It's all good. It happens.
It happens.
I'll be there to catch you, Vin. Going on. It includes a dual fan setup that is designed to improve airflow by more than 55%, with promises of much quieter and more efficient cooling.
God bless.
NVIDIA is using a bracket exhausting front fan with the flow-through rear fan. In other words, we got a lot of air flowing through this bad boy. You ain't even dreaming of overheating. Are you kidding me?
Thank God.
Alongside the RTX 3080, NVIDIA is also launching a cheaper RTX 3070 priced at $500 in October. $499, round up to $500 because no one thinks $499. This will be still a more capable card than the prior RTX 2080 at a lot less cost than the 2080 itself. The performance bump will also put the RTX 3070 comfortably above the 1080 Ti and 1080 cards for 1440p gaming. That's a lot of numbers. All this means is if you have any other card than an RTX 3000 series card, it is probably the best move, and you want to continue gaming
on a PC
at the premium level on a PC. it is well worth the investment to jump into this line of cards because they are cheaper and more efficient than ever.
It's the price and value, like the
It's the
value of the
price.
actual
It's
thing, price and power. I can't
neck
even
and neck,
explain it. I can't even
equal.
explain it. Yeah.
NVIDIA also surprised. NVIDIA just so many surprises today. Wow. Also surprised today, Tuesday, with a top of the line RTX 3090 GPU. When you thought it was all over with the 3080, they said, boom, 3090.
They
Here
said
it is.
one more, baby. One
One
more.
more, another one. The RTX 3090 is more akin to the Titan line of NVIDIA cards and includes a massive 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory.
My 2060 has 6 gigabytes of DDR6X.
Yeah, mine, I think it has 6 or 8. I'm pretty sure it's 6.
This is
Wow.
mind-boggling. James, I am clown again on this podcast.
Just wear that clown makeup for the rest of the day then, because, all right, I'm gonna pull up the prices real quick.
I think it's like 500, 800, and 1400 or something like that. There's like a huge jump.
$14.99, yeah. Yeah, it goes. You're right on the first two, and then the last one is $14.99.
Oh, $100 off. Close.
$100 off, baby.
Absolutely insane. Like,
yeah.
I can't imagine what you would need the 3090 for, but God bless you if you got it.
I think it's for. So the guy I talked to at Best Buy. He was into a lot of art stuff, and I think a lot of artists use high processing power. I could be totally wrong.
I guess. I mean, it would be nice for editing, but editing's getting the job done on my 2060 ish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could always be better, but it's good.
Then, how do you think this impacts the next gen console market?
Very interesting question, James, because I don't know how I'm gonna answer this. Here's my thoughts. People that are PC gamers are not. If you're strictly PC already, you're not going to console anyways. This is their
you are
next
going
gen.
through a crisis because you just paid for a Titan that is going to be outbeat by $700 cards.
Exactly. So if you're
that can be totally untrue. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
If you're in the PC game and this is like, it's been years since you've upgraded your GPU, I could see this being like, yeah, this is your next gen console. This is your next gen upgrade. Since I'm going to get a console, I will not be upgrading my GPU. You know what I mean? It's like that. I can't do both.
My question for you then is, how do you feel about to drop a $500 investment in a PlayStation 5 when you know that this $500 card is going to be more powerful than your PlayStation 5?
You know what? I still feel good about buying the PlayStation 5.
Really?
It's just the exclusives, man. That seems dumb. I think about it, I'm like, oh, really? I'm going to buy a PlayStation 5 for like maybe 10 games that come out the generation? Yeah, I am. And they're going to be damn good games.
What about the fact that Sony wants to port more? I know this is later articles. Yeah. Sony wants to port more of their games over to PC.
Let's also talk about that in a bit because I have a couple thoughts about it.
All right.
Actually, great. You know what, James? We can just go right into that real quick. We might as well.
We'll go straight into it, baby. Yeah. Expediting the Sony article.
Let me read this. So this comes from Game Debate News. Sony is officially bringing more first-party titles to PC. This comes from Chad Norton at Game Debate.
The boy. I have no idea who he is.
There's been a lot of debate about whether Sony will be bringing more of their first-party PlayStation exclusives to the PC platform, especially since both Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn recently launched on PC. Well, now, Sony has officially confirmed that they were bringing more first-party titles to PC in the future. This is a quote. "We will explore expanding our first-party titles to the PC platform in order to promote further growth in our profitability. This is clearly important to the entertainment giant, and it was listed as one of their strategic key points in a recent report. Unfortunately, no direct games were given at the moment, so we have no idea which ones or even how many they are planning to bring to PC, or whether they are past PS4 exclusives or future PS5 exclusives." This is another quote. "Competition from online PC games and players from other industries is expected to continue intensely. The fundamental growth strategy will be to innovate and evolve the PlayStation platform." So basically, Sony sees the PC market as a viable audience to their games, and ones that are not likely to switch to the PlayStation console. And this is where it's interesting to me. It's great. Let's have more people play the PlayStation exclusives that haven't been able to play them before. But Sony is smart enough to know that they are ahead of these generations and they're ahead of the console races because of their exclusives, and that's because they keep some of their games exclusive to their platform. So I don't think this article in any way means that they're bringing all the PlayStation games over. They'll probably bring a few. Like I bet like God of War seems like that would be one. But I don't see like Naughty Dog's games being ported over, I guess. It's like I don't know. Naughty
Yeah,
Dog feels like a baby to Sony. Whereas same Sony Santa Monica, that's also their baby. But I feel like God of War is more likely to get a PC port than an Uncharted. I
I
don't know.
agree.
That's my thoughts.
I agree. Just based on the field, because I thought of porting over Last of Us as a likely example, but then I said, it just doesn't seem like they would do it.
It's their
However,
brand.
Ben,
So is
I'm gonna make a
Kratos.
case.
Yeah.
That is true. I'm gonna make a case that I think Sony could absolutely port all of these games to PC and suffer little infractions to their sales numbers.
I know where this is going.
And
Yeah.
that's because Sony is leading the console market.
Yep.
If we skip to the future and PlayStation 5 has completely outsold Xbox Series X,
Right.
that is a console relative market. Now, if they were to take their games and put them on PC, I don't think people are going to jump ship from PS4 or sorry, PlayStation 5 at this point to PC.
Yeah.
Because I think there will be some, like I think I could be one of those people who jumps ship from PlayStation 5 to PC.
Okay.
However, I don't think because that is not their primary competition, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they have anything else to compete with. It's not like they're bringing them to Microsoft platforms, right?
Sure.
Because I think that's a totally different thing because then that's direct competition in the console market. But Sony's entire wheelhouse is not in the high end. uh, I guess it's now mid high end, right? Because I feel like PCs are getting more accessible,
Yeah.
but in that mid high end range of gaming on the consumer level.
So let me ask you this question. Let's
Okay.
say we've heard the rumors, we've heard all this BS before, like, oh, is PlayStation gonna do one of their like Game Pass type things and stuff like that? Let's say in a perfect world, PlayStation makes a Game Pass competitor, right? And it's huge. It's very good. They have
Which it would be
everything.
because they have better games.
Sure.
Anyway,
Let's say they do a Game Pass and they also that is included with their cloud playing thing where you can play games on your phone and stuff like
sure.
that.
So if it was the whole Xbox Game Pass thing
The whole
package,
package
right?
plus you would get that subscription service on your PC and you'd be able to play all those PC games there as well. But you will not be able to play those on Steam, Blizzard, or whatever launcher, whatever the hell launcher.
Right. So just like Game Pass.
Yeah, but yeah, no, because you can play Halo: The Master Chief Collection on Steam or
Right,
on
but you
Game
can't
Pass.
play Gears of War.
Yeah, right. So those games would be strictly tied to that subscription base. Then
Right.
you wouldn't lose as many people, I think. But
Mm.
I don't know. I'm all for more people playing these games, but they're not going to do everything because they want to keep people on the console. PlayStation's in the console game, not the PC game.
Absolutely. And I think that's just what it boils down to. So, with that being said, Sony, give me all your PC or your PlayStation games as PC games. That's all I really want.
Yeah, I would love to play some of these games at higher frame rates and stuff like that.
And I think they could even, if they allowed the DualSense functionality and capability to be compatible with the PC and allow all the goodness of the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers to roll over onto the PC hardware,
Mm-hmm.
and we're allowed to put in those features through the PC software, I think that could totally seal the deal.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think Microsoft even has had a hold on PC sales because of their controllers. Because
Sure.
if you buy any game on Steam and you want controls, if you want controller controls,
Yep.
it will be in a Xbox format.
Yeah.
You will get your A, B, X, and Y. Right trigger, right bumper. You won't get R1, R2. You won't get square, triangle, X, circle.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
maybe
just
we'll
my
see a
little
shift.
letter to Sony.
Maybe this generation will see a shift.
I hope so. That's the hope as this PlayStation gamer, but I can also totally see Sony saying we don't need to do that whatsoever. It goes both ways.
Yeah, we'll see. That we will really see.
And that's what it always boils down to.
Yeah.
We will see.
But I mean, it's
Um,
good to speculate. It's fun to speculate.
Speaking of big things,
Yeah,
Cyberpunk 2777.
27.
27. Cyberpunk 27.
Uh-huh.
Cyberpunk 2077 install will not take up 200 gigabytes, CD Projekt Red says. Now, then I know this is hard to believe because CD Projekt Red is such a huge game. You look at it and say, wow, how could that
Cyberpunk's
not be?
such a
It's
huge
like
game.
200. What did I say?
You said CD Projekt Red is such a big game. Close.
This comes from Tom Ivan at Video Games Chronicle. NVIDIA latest PC graphics cards, the GeForce RTX 30 series, were revealed Tuesday during an event which featured a screenshot of Cyberpunk 27 accompanied by text mentioning 200 gigabyte next-gen games. After this led to speculation about the size of the game. CD Projekt Red global community lead Marcin Momo took to social media to set the record straight. I probably butchered that name, but
No, you
I'm
did
going to
good.
keep moving.
Fine.
Saying, quote, this is from Momo, while the Cyberpunk game system requirements are not out yet, they are coming soon though.
Exclamation
I
mark.
wanted to address this topic from Reddit. The game won't take up 200 gigabytes when installed. You can expect the required HDD space to be on par with other modern titles. So it's probably around 60 to 80.
A modern title is also Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is a
Don't
whopping
compare it
200.
to that monster
Okay,
because that is also a lot of updates included.
that's fair.
During NVIDIA's presentation, it showed off the 30 series cards with Cyberpunk 2077, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Watch Dogs Legion, and Fortnite, all of which were confirmed to support ray tracing and DLSS
And if you want those
features.
spicy, sexy, gorgeous Cyberpunk ray tracing screenshots from the 3000 series cards, you can head on over to Cyberpunk's Twitter page. It is beautiful.
Nutty.
Also, Fortnite ray trace. It looks great.
Sure,
It looks
I
great.
guess.
That's something I have been playing this week. I played like 5 matches of Fortnite.
I wasn't. Real quick.
Had a great time. Guiltily,
Great.
had a great time. All right, let's continue.
Now then, we were talking about the PS5 controller a little earlier.
Yes.
And following Gamescom, we got a little more info about the DualSense controller. This is a big deal.
I would say
It's a big,
DualSense.
or at least Sony wants you to think it's a big deal.
I am almost as excited about DualSense. I'm sorry. I am almost as excited for DualSense than I am the PS5. Like my
I think
PS5
I'm
levels
more
here,
excited.
and DualSense is like here.
I think I'm
pushing.
more excited for the controller than maybe the console itself, and maybe even some of the games.
Damn.
Just
Okay.
because of the implications it could have.
Sure.
So this week on PlayStation Blog, what's her name? Mary Yee did a dev speak where she posed to a lot of developers working on first-party titles for PlayStation on how the PS5 console's ultra high-speed SSD and Tempest 3D audio tech engine will enhance the future of gaming.
Sure.
In this article, we get word from Brian Horton, creative director for Spider-Man Miles Morales, creative director at Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan Studio for Demon's Souls, Far Cry 6 developers, Hitman 3 developers, Returnal developers, and even more.
A lot of devs.
A lot of devs.
And a full spectrum of games also. They're not just highlighting one genre of games. This is the whole board.
Right, the whole smorgasbord. So this quote comes from Brian Horton highlighting how the DualSense will work in Spider-Man's Miles Morales. Spider-Man's. Quote, beyond near instant loading and fast travel, the SSD and its speed allow us to more quickly load and display more detailed assets. This should lead to the city looking better than ever, and this is just the beginning for our team unlocking these possibilities. It's a fundamental change that we can't wait to take more advantage of in the years to come. End quote.
Now, James, that was about the SSD, not the DualSense.
Yes.
But
I was totally off.
it's okay.
Entirely.
It's okay. It's all right.
I was just really excited about the DualSense, man. Can you blame me?
I can't blame you, bro. I can't blame you.
See?
But this
all I can
section's
think
about
about.
the SSD. That's
It's up there with I'm a Little Airplane, Mau Mau.
a weekend ruiner.
The weekend ruiner.
You got to be here for the post show or the pre-show.
Yes, you do.
You'll get it.
This one comes from Gavin Moore, creative director at Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan Studio. Quote, as developers of Demon's Souls, we are already changing the way we think about the SSD. We see it not just as storage, but also memory, utilizing the speed of the SSD to load data at blistering speeds, bringing you straight back into the action to avenge your many deaths. Now, Vin, all this really means is faster load times.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally 4 other quotes here that is going to talk about faster load times. You know what I mean? It's just developers like, okay, Far Cry 6 developer, this SSD is a game changer. You got Hitman 3 developer. It's just that you're going to be able to save and load at a moment's notice. It's just like the whole sandbox will be loaded for you, like at a moment's notice. You don't have to wait for anything. You got the lead programmer from Returnal, which is a new PS5 exclusive game. We saw a trailer during what?
Sigourney Weaver in it.
That's right. It didn't look that great, but we'll get it later on.
We'll see how it goes.
The lead programmer from Returnal says that a bit further into the next generation, I'm expecting we'll start seeing developers make more use of the not so obvious benefits of the SSD. So there's people that don't even know the full power of it yet, is what she's basically saying. And then we have, of course, the creative director at Insomniac Games saying, hopefully players were able to see the new extended gameplay demo we recently revealed for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. The SSD and custom I/O architecture around it allows us to send players across dimensions with near instant speed. It fundamentally changes the rules and allows us to think about ideas and game designs that are only possible for the PS5.
Yeah.
Nutty,
absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest thing is how minor sounding of an improvement a new SSD could be made out to be is made to be such a huge deal. It has huge implications for game development.
Yeah.
Right? You think about what goes into creating these environments and how the player goes through it, and I guess loading is a pivotal part of this.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
no,
it's huge.
I think so too. We won't really know until we try it. Like, that's going to be something where we can hear about and it's going to sound great. But we're going to, we'll get the full effect when we have our hands on it, and it's going to be dope. I'm excited for it.
Colton asks, but can they bring this to PC SSD as well? And because it is a Sony SSD,
patented,
it would have to be Sony's decision to bring it separately to PC. And we know that Sony doesn't play nice with other platforms.
Yeah.
Even
Genshin Impact.
Go back to crossplay and all these things. Sony doesn't like to play with other platforms. So,
which is dumb.
If that's any indication.
Okay.
I would say no.
So now, James, tell me a little about the Tempest 3D audio.
Well, same deal. We got a lot of developers coming in about basically how the 3D audio tech engine is going to be able to affect these many game worlds and environments that these developers are creating.
Yeah.
So for Returnal, right, different developer, it's Harry Kruger, says 3D audio is exciting because it can create a more convincing and accurate soundscape for players, as the name would entail, and a stronger sense of place in a fast-paced action game with lots of verticality like Returnal. It can also help with the player's situational awareness and make it more intuitive for players to pinpoint locations of nearby enemies or incoming projectiles in the heat of combat. So spatial interaction, knowing exactly where things are in your environment so you can react to it at a specific time.
Right.
Julian Marotta for Norsfell Games says the ability to layer the music even more deeply with dozens of different states reacting to areas and enemy levels make for an environment that's even more lush and mesmerizing. So, right? And then
basically, James, is what you're saying is that it's probably time for me to upgrade headphones.
I don't think the Turtle Beaches will be able to suffice.
I like my Turtle Beaches just because they've worked, but I think it's time to get Sennheisers or something. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see.
I got a recommendation for you.
All right, we'll talk off stream. We'll talk. But going after all this, it's all about just putting yourself as the player in a much bigger world. It makes you feel smaller as a player because you can
hear and place yourself in a position where there's so much going on around you that you feel like you are at the center of the action instead of disconnected in your room staring at your TV in your mom's basement.
Yes, like we are, like we will.
Like we are.
Just kidding. But no, I'm excited for the 3D audio because I think this transcends the headphones. I think it's like the headphones provide so much of the quality, but there's a literal chip on this motherboard that is boosting the quality going to your ears, your beautiful ears, you know? So I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I'm excited to see how we see games that incorporate different spatial elements of music, right? When you record an orchestra, right?
Mhm.
If you're thinking of like a giant set piece for like God of War or Last of Us, and you hear the strings coming in, you can hear it spatially. It's not just you hear
The
music
song, yeah.
playing, you hear the music in the environment. I want to see how developers might be able to do that, right?
How do you
Spatial
think?
music.
So I would say Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man, had a great soundtrack, and when you took that first
Absolutely.
web, the exactly we're talking about, the strings come in like the big woo, like the whole
It crescendos
yes.
with the swing. Yes.
Imagine Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then taking advantage of the 3D Tempest audio with that. That's
Wow.
like falling down. Like you're gonna feel like you're falling through the
You really
skyscraper,
are.
and the music's gonna come in as you go back up. I'm so damn excited for that.
I also think 3D audio has huge implications for the future of VR on the PlayStation platform.
Let's go, baby. PSVR 2.
Absolutely. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
We can pray.
We can only pray.
Okay.
Then
Next
do you
up,
want to take this?
I'll take. I mean, James, let's talk a little bit first. Let's talk a little
Let's
bit.
talk a little bit.
So
Okay.
this is the Marvel's Avengers review roundup.
Yes, it is.
You and I both played the beta. So before
Yes,
we get
we
to
did.
this, let's talk about beta thoughts, just a tad, and then we can go into the review. Is that okay?
That's absolutely okay.
Okay, give me your initial reactions before you played the beta, and then after you played the beta of what the stuff you saw.
Before I played the beta, I was extremely skeptical. You could even say that I didn't really want to like it.
Okay.
I mean, let me backtrack a little bit. I love the Avengers, but it is very disappointing to me when people take a franchise that I personally love and a lot of people love and they don't do it justice, right?
Sure.
That's why Insomniac Spider-Man is held in such high regard for me, is because Insomniac did something very good
Yeah.
with a character that I already knew and loved. Going into it, I really did want to enjoy it, but it was a very high bar for me to go over. I
Right.
said, if you're gonna make an Avengers game, it really has to live up to the Avengers.
Yep.
And I thought that because I knew it was a Destiny style game, I was disappointed that they were going along a game design track of a pre-existing um, MMORPG, and I felt like it just didn't quite fit the Avengers
Yeah.
franchise, the Avengers IP,
Sure.
if you will.
Okay, so you download the beta, you play it. How many hours did you put in?
Maybe 5 or 6.
Solid
I
time.
didn't play it a lot.
5 or 6 hours is good for a beta for sure.
I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay loop, I saw the potential. I enjoyed the multiple skill trees for each hero, but there's issues where I don't want to play as other characters and it forces me to in the story,
Mm-hmm.
especially before I can get into multiplayer.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
and
yeah.
then yeah, especially if you're getting multiplayer. And then the level design is very reminiscent of something like Destiny, which you go around, you hit, it's just a brawler where you just like kill enemies,
Clear the room,
and then you
move on.
move to it, clear the room, move on, push a button, clear the room, move on. And I'm tired of that gameplay loop.
Okay.
It's what turned me off from the Halo Infinite gameplay demo. Is you went in, you cleared out the enemies, and moved on and pushed a button. I'm tired of it. You can
Yeah.
be more creative with your level design.
Um, I want this game to be good. Avengers, right?
So bad.
Like every time they have a war table, besides the first war table that kind of sucked, their second one was great, and the one that just happened on Monday. There was an Avengers war table on Monday where they released Kate something.
Kate Hansen.
Kate Hansen. Is that what you
Yes,
said?
Kate Hansen.
All right, Kate
Yep.
Hansen, which is Hawkeye's something. Hawkeye's.
Hawkeye's successor. I think it's his daughter.
Got it. Please correct us in chat if you're watching. But like that was cool to me, and everything they show was cool. And then you play the beta, and it's not cool. Like
No.
I played through the Golden Gate demo, and I was like, okay, that's okay. And then you're stuck with like an hour and a half of Hulk missions, and I'm like, But after you sludge through those, the Abomination fight was cool. That was a fine boss fight to me.
That's cool.
It
was fine.
It got the job done. And
Yeah.
then playing as Black Widow afterwards, in the more open environments, was fun.
I didn't get to play as Black Widow, and I did want to play as her.
That was fun to me. And then playing as Iron Man was okay to me too. I played him in a harem room. That was it. But Kamal Khan was just okay to. She was really boring to play as.
I agree.
And then we didn't have Thor in the beta, so I don't even know. But I just didn't love it, and I want to love it so bad.
Mm-hmm. It feels very samey.
Yeah,
combat feels very samey.
Like it wasn't bad per se playing it, but it wasn't worth $60 worth for me, you know?
Right. And here's my main concern is with a game, if we're going to compare it to Destiny, which I'm going to.
Okay.
In a game like Destiny, you have things among the gamescape to give it variety, right? Even if you have your Sunbreaker Titan,
Mhm.
right? Which I love, Sunbreaker Titan. You have three trees in that, which you do have skill trees in Marvel's Avengers. However, you also have things on top of that in Destiny. You have your armor skills, you have your weapon skills, you have your exotic pieces.
Sure.
They're doing other things on the side, right? And those are all things that add variation to your game. And you have like so many subtypes of weapons, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like you just miss those little things that add more the variety that is needed when you have a game like this in which you're spending a lot of time with one character. It's how many skill trees can I progress through before it gets old?
Yeah. No,
I get tired of all these abilities.
You sent me a screenshot on Twitter the other day of someone who obtained a very high level piece of gear, and the stat on it was boof. It was like a very low chance that anything would even happen. It was like a tongue twister to even
pull this up.
Tongue twister to read, made no sense, and then when you really
Here
think
it
about
is.
it, it's dumb. Yeah.
It's my first ever piece. This comes from Steven Strum on Twitter, at Steven Strum. My first ever piece of legendary gear, the legendary perk. If I hit an enemy and I'm using a ranged attack, and that ranged attack crits, there is less than a 50% chance that I may get a defense buff for a short time. Exciting stuff.
Super exciting. Yeah, it's not like worth grinding for or anything.
No.
It seems kind of dumb.
It seems like I don't see the motivation to keep you going.
So the game comes out for everybody today at 9 p.m.
Okay.
For wide audiences. But if you pre-ordered, you got it on Monday. You got it multiple days early. So it's been out there, and there's been absolutely no NDAs. Once these people got the game on Monday, anything could be on the internet. Everything can be spoiled.
Yeah.
Someone in chat, Mr. Hollywood says hyped, going to be playing later with the cousins, hopefully.
I hope you have a great time, Ryder.
I hope you
really
do.
Now, Vin, we only have one review score from a retailer.
Which we don't even have to read the review score. Let's just read the review.
It says, this is a little snippet of the review. It says, the future of Marvel's, this comes from Blaine Smith at Gamers Heroes. The future of Marvel's Avengers' ongoing success will be completely dependent on the quality and regularity of content. However, as a game available today, it's a solid entry into the loot and shoot RPG space. The single-player story is worth the price of admission alone, leaving the fun but dated approach to multiplayer a welcome addition for fans of the looter-style approach.
So I've heard this quite a bit on Twitter, that people are having a good time with the story. Like
Yes.
on Avengers, they said Kamala Khan is a great protagonist,
Yes.
and things like that, which sounds great. That sounds great to me. And I wish that they
Yeah.
had more emphasis on the campaign before, like in the promotion. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I feel like I didn't really know anything about it besides who the
No,
bad
we
guy
just knew that
was
Cap was dead.
and Cap dead and Kamala Khan's like the main protagonist, and that's about all we knew. So
Yeah.
it's weird that people are praising the thing that was barely marketed about the game. So
Yeah.
this little snippet comes from Destructoid, Chris Carter. He says, "I need to play more before I can make a final judgment. But right now, Marvel's Avengers seems like a shootin'
Shooing.
a shoe-in for a future games of service bringing up your grades award. It's rough now, but after some free characters arrive and in the mix alongside some quality of life updates and some performance patches, it could be a nice way to spend a weekend with some friends." The problem is it could be.
Yeah, and it's not the it's not the grandiose experience that you want out of an Avengers level franchise, that you want out of that big AAA endgame size universe, right? You
Yeah,
can't expect, coming off of a name like Avengers that has that tie to Infinity War and Endgame and billions of dollars in profit,
sure.
and then just have it just be, it could be a nice way to spend a weekend with some friends,
Right.
you
I
know?
wanted this to read, "This will be the best weekend you've had playing games with your friends." You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what I want it to read. Not "This could be a
Hmm.
good time." Um,
It is a contender for your good time, for your
yeah.
buddies with the weekend.
And I got plenty of good times to be had playing games right now that are free
Yeah, yeah,
on the PC right now.
yeah,
I want to have the best time playing Avengers. Because
yeah.
I love Avengers too, and I don't mean to shortchange that. Like I love Marvel, love me some
Right.
superheroes. I'm
Both of
just
us do.
still not impressed with this game.
Right. I think it's because we love those superheroes so much that we want the best for those
Yeah,
characters and the best for that portrayal. This is the last one. It comes from Philip Hornshot, GameSpot. Quote, so far though, I'm really enjoying what Crystal Dynamics is doing with these characters and with the Avengers story the developer is able to tell. It's the heavily video gamey portions that are dragging me down, and I'm hoping Marvel's Avengers will grow into them as I continue my adventures. End quote. I heard, I forgot who was talking about this, but they're saying the story elements of the campaign are actually really good. You
yeah,
know, the cutscenes, the character interactions, but it's the moments that are game ass moments when you're going through levels and you're going through the core of the gameplay,
hmm,
going through the loop, doing the motions to get from point A to point B to watch a cutscene. Then that's where the game slugs.
yeah,
And that's the issue that I think I have with the game as of right now, even though I haven't played it. Just to
okay,
be fully disclosed.
yeah,
I say quick that others regard Marvel's Avengers very highly with experiences that are totally, and this is mostly campaign, experiences that are totally Marvel and character interactions that are incredibly impactful, with Kamala Khan being a major highlight for players. I know a journalist, or I don't know him, I know of him. His name's, I think it's Timur Hussein. I could be
yeah. On
pronouncing that
Twitter,
wrong.
yeah,
On Twitter, and he was like talking about how Kamala Khan talking about Muslim traditions that she went through with her
yeah,
family just totally made him like tear up. And I think that's
super cool.
beautiful that that audience gets representation
Yeah,
in a franchise that's as big as
absolutely,
Marvel's Avengers. You
absolutely.
know, I think that's a huge step in
Cannot
that
discount that.
respect. You
But
know, and Greg Miller was talking about a interaction between like Tony and Cap that literally made him tear up because it was just like so
yeah,
iconic and representative of the relationship that those two characters really have.
right. Yeah,
But outside, like it's hard to have these super pinnacle experiences that you see glimpses of that don't seem to have any follow through for the rest of the game, and you don't see in the post game because there's none of that at all. Besides, then okay, are we still recording? Great. Switch your mic. real quick. It's not on. But yeah, I talked to Vin and I said that if it goes on a deep sale, I'll probably buy it like $30. I want to see what characters they have going for it, regardless of the. So the way the battle pass system got a lot of flack earlier this week, excuse me, because it was you have to pay or buy a battle pass for each new character. However, I did some digging and people were saying that um, if you complete a battle pass for a pre-existing character that is already available, you will have more than enough currency, excuse me, to buy the battle pass for a post-launch character. And if you continue to grind out battle passes, then you will be able to continue to do battle passes for new characters. Also, I can't hear you then. Okay. But I want the best for this game. We'll see with more reviews that'll come out in the coming weeks. But with a game like this, that's more that games as a service model, it'll be a little bit before we start seeing some more solid reviews, some more solid review scores. I mean, if I go to Metacritic right now, the only score is an 80 on Metacritic, and that was from Games Heroes. But if we look right now, it's currently sitting at a 76 Metascore
That's better
with
than
a
I thought it was going to be.
5.8 user score. The highest reviews of being worth playing, Gamers Heroes and Shack News, and the lowest being jouvideo.com and Trusted Reviews.
That's brutal. What's the low one looking like?
As a whole, the game is interesting.
Wait, can you hear me or no?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh,
You're good
cool,
then.
cool.
Yeah. As a whole, the game is interesting. Thanks to a complete customization system and complementary superheroes. On the other hand, the player often finds himself confronted with awkward choices and great redundancy synonymous with repetitive missions. Although Crystal Dynamics has, unlike BioWare with Anthem, avoided the trap of unbalanced loot, the game remains as it is, simply attractive, if not essential.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, if not essential.
Oh, if not essential.
Simply attractive, if not essential.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not saying it's a must play, but it looks cool.
But people across the board say it is a pleasant surprise from the beta.
Okay. It gives me
Engaging
hope.
combat, rewarding progression, has established a solid foundation for Crystal Dynamics to build upon with new heroes and scenarios in the months and years to come.
I've heard people say good things about the campaign, which makes me happier. Makes me happy.
My worry is that it won't. So I see how this game could have a lot of post-launch support that is meaningful. However, I'm worried for the player like me who gets bored between the spans in which content is coming out, right?
Sure.
You drop a new character, everyone's playing the new character for like 2 weeks, and then you drop off because you saw everything that was new, and then you decided, I'm just gonna wait for the next one.
Absolutely.
So I'm worried for a consistently long player base.
I think that I will pick up Avengers when it is on sale and they release their next huge pack of characters or whatever. Like they've already released 4 characters, games on sale bundled with the next character. You know what I mean, or something like that. And I get it for $25 on it.
Well, I think all the characters are free, just the battle pass you have to pay for. So
right, they'll bundle it with something.
Like a skin. Well, maybe they'll bundle in skins or like battle passes.
Yeah.
Right. So you buy a special bundle and you'll get like 4 extra battle passes that you can do that you don't have to grind out for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All in all, I think that sums up our thoughts on Marvel's Avengers.
But I haven't
having not played it ourselves.
Having not played it. So
having not played it ourselves.
A grain of salt, just the beta.
Yes.
Okay, so this is super cool. We thought we were a little short on news for the week, so we reached out to you guys for some questions or anything you guys wanted to be covered on here. So we got 2 little topics from the community that we're going to talk about. The first one comes from Mr. Ollywood, friend of the show, our boy. We had him on a couple weeks ago, like a month ago maybe.
He did.
And Mr. Ollywood says, "Why do you all think Xbox and PlayStation are waiting so long to reveal uh, real prices and release dates. I think there's a simple answer and an answer that I just don't know. The answer I don't know would be probably the real answer, but from a consumer's perspective, you see Xbox and PlayStation wanting to compete with each other, having a cheaper price and release first. But I don't think either of them are ready to release like today. You know what I mean? Like I think they need a little more time, but they don't know how much time until the other person releases.
Yeah, and the thing is this has never happened before.
We,
The earliest, or sorry, the latest that this information has been unveiled is 5 months before release.
four.
Sorry, four.
Yeah.
4 months before release, and we are at almost 2.
Yep. What are you thinking? Why is that? Because I feel like we've crossed a bridge of no return where they don't care, and they know that a lot of their audience doesn't care. A good portion of their audience does care about price. I mean, reveal date. Everybody wants that lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
I could see this going on for another
know.
month. I could see it be going like a month ahead of time. We learn
That's where I'm at the point of no return, where I feel like now they could just do whatever the hell they want.
they can.
You know,
Who's
because
stopping them?
back in June we were like, oh, we're gonna have to know more about this
Right.
within the month. But now we've said that three times, four
James,
times.
we've been saying this for months. We've been saying
Yeah,
this
we've
for
been saying
months
this
on the
literally
podcast.
for months.
When are we gonna get a
Yeah.
release date? When are we gonna get it? We don't know. They don't know. I bet that they have some ideas. They might not have a date locked down. We've gotten plenty of leaks that say mid-November for PS5 and first week in November for Xbox, but we'll see. Yeah. A couple weeks until release. That's my guess. Like a month. It'll be crazy. It'll be like pre-orders. Boom! It comes out in 15 days. Get ready. It'll be crazy.
I hear the latest thought is that Microsoft was already planning for an early November release, allegedly.
Sure.
Right, according to their marketing spending
Okay.
and their slated release that they were going to do beginning of November, like first week. Now people are saying that Sony could totally do beginning of October, or sorry, not beginning, end of October even.
They're just slinging them out.
I can't give you a good answer for
Me
this
neither.
one, Ryder. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Your guess is as good as mine. I think it's a little ridiculous, but
honestly, I'm here for it. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's gonna come out by the end of the year. I'll find stuff to tide me over.
Here's the thing with the PS5, especially. Once they did the lotto system for pre-orders, in which you just put in your, that's when I said, you know what? I can't, like, it's not like I'm waiting on a timer,
right,
or anything to like put in my pre-order, because Sony's just gonna draw a name out of a hat, and that's how the cards will fall.
No, they said that lottery system is going to be based on user engagement. Like, have you been playing your PlayStation? It'll go to the people that play PlayStation to the most, and then cut off at the person that doesn't play it the most. That's my guess. They want to get the people that play PlayStation all day because they know they'll share it. like
Yeah.
It's self-advertised, bro. When a PlayStation gets shipped to someone's house that plays PlayStation, that goes on Instagram. That's gonna go on Twitter. They're gonna be like, "Oh, check this out! I'm playing on my new PlayStation 5." They're not gonna send it to the guy that doesn't play it that much.
Yeah. You're right.
We'll see.
You're right.
Okay, we got one more community question before we end out the night. Yeah, and then we'll do random fun stuff afterwards.
Yep.
This is from Nated on the Discord, and he says, what are your guys' thoughts on the graphical differences in Halo Infinite's trailer versus the COD Cold War trailer? Just to give a little something, I feel like we've beat the crap out of our Halo Infinite trash talking over the course of the last podcast.
Crap out of Halo Infinite.
Yeah, and so I don't want to beat a dead horse, for lack of better terminology.
Yeah.
But I think we both know that the Halo Infinite trailer did not look good, and the COD Cold War trailer has
incredible.
Amazing graphics, but we also didn't see gameplay of the COD Cold War.
It's true, we didn't see gameplay.
But even on a cinematic level, the Cold War looked way better than Halo Infinite's thing too.
And that's all it is. There's no discussion. It looked better.
Exactly. I think so too.
Yeah. I mean, the gameplay could look like not as good, but it would still look better than Halo Infinite.
Sure. Yeah. Who?
I think that's all there is to this question, Ben.
Me too. And I wish I had more to say about it, but I just don't.
Yeah, for Nate's sake, I wish I had more to say about it, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think that's all there is on that.
Yeah.
Real quick, Colton has another question. Real quick, says any thoughts on an Oculus Quest 2 coming November? I've been following this myself for a little bit because I was really in the market for an Oculus
Yeah, you were.
Quest. I haven't heard any news about it in the recent month or two, but I do know that those new controllers are codenamed Jedi controllers, and because of that, I'm very excited. I would love to pick up an Oculus Quest, but unfortunately this fall I'm going to be dead broke with PS5 and maybe an RTX card. And
Are you gonna do it?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
I can be crazy. I don't know.
Be crazy. Let me tell you guys a 30-second story.
Okay.
A couple months ago, when me and James were roommates living with each other, James bought a Quest. James bought a Quest. The money went through and everything, and less than a day later, he cancels it. He buyer's remorse immediately. He's like, I can't do this. I can't do it. He cancels it.
Yeah, I canceled it.
There's my 30-second story. It was hilarious.
I did play a Quest over the summer a few times because my buddy who was working for our church, their department got a Quest.
Okay.
For youth events and stuff like that. And so he would take it around to like little like get-togethers and stuff because he just had it around. So when he'd come up to like parties or whatever, he'd be like, "Oh, try Quest, play Super Hot, whatever."
Quest, bro.
And so that was fun. I had a good time playing Super Hot. But it just something wasn't clicking for me. I think it was a little bit of latency, or it was that it would like the straps didn't quite fit around my head. It wasn't comfortable enough for longer play periods, and that's what got me.
Yeah.
And the graphical fidelity just wasn't what I wanted.
Cool. Well, then you can wait. Then you gotta wait.
Then I can wait.
Okay.
Now, on to the best part of the show, our favorite part of the show, random fun stuff.
I need a random fun stuff graphic that I can run. I just thought about that.
Yeah, dude. That would be so sweet.
We'll get there. We'll get there, guys.
We'll get there. We only have 2 items here. I guess 3 if you count Spellbreak release.
Sure. Spellbreak out today. Play it if it's good.
That's the first one.
I don't even know.
We will find out after this episode. First item is Marvel's Avenger Beta was globally the most downloaded beta in PlayStation history. That's wild.
That seems like almost false to me. That's how crazy that sounds. But sure.
Well, I can't think of like another beta that was like
that big.
Yeah.
And do you know what, dude? People played that beta just for the stupid Hulk fists in Fortnite. These little kids, bro, did not even want the Avengers game. They just wanted their Fortnite shit. What can you do?
I have a buddy whose little brother continually asks me if he wants me to watch his Fortnite tournaments. I tell him yes, but I never do it.
You're breaking that kid's heart, bro.
No.
You guys, we should do a watch along on the channel of
James' Benito's the boy.
Benito. Oh, his name's Benito?
His name's not Benito, it's Bennett, but I call him Benito.
Benito's perfect. So that's great. Yeah. Okay, the last item on random fun stuff is Tom Clancy's The Division is free to claim on Uplay right now. I love The Division. I think Division 1's Dark Zone is some of the best multiplayer experience you can have with friends.
It was so much fun. That was a beta that I had a good ass time with.
The Division, yeah. The Division is a great game. And The Division 2 is also a great game, but its Dark Zone is not nearly as good. That's it. That's all I got. And that's the end of episode 30.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Strictly Casual Podcast episode 38, Vin.
38? Where did that come from?
I don't know why I said 38.
It's just 30.
Episode 30. I'm all over the place tonight.
You are.
We've had 4 classes today.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Episode 30. If you haven't already, follow the channel on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, join the Discord down below. We got social medias. We got Twitter. We got Instagram. We got everything. And your mother's couch.
Wow. Absolutely.
Yep. I went there.
If you're watching with us live, thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate you. If you would like your questions or any thing you want discussed in the next week's podcast, you can join our Discord below and chat with us. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely adore it.
We would absolutely.
That ends Strictly Casual episode 30.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out.